And then here I am seeing all these doctors trying to look for an acute answer to a problem that was chronic because of this compounding effect of all of these drugs over and over and over and over again. It's a slow burn, but one day you wake up and you start to feel that burn. All right, guys, in today's brief video, I want to take a minute and talk about what I refer to as the compounding effect of nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content, all substances that I once struggled with. And this isn't like a positive thing, like when we think of the compounding effect of earning interest on an investment in the stock market or in the S&P 500. This is actually the opposite. It's a very negative compounding effect that occurs with continued use or abuse of these substances. Now, real quick, if you wind up enjoying what I say in today's video, be sure to refer to the links in the pinned comment and the links in the video description to learn more about our paid and free program resources to help people quit this stuff. All right, so I started using nicotine, THC, alcohol, energy drinks, Monster energy drinks, Red Bulls, pre-workouts, and watching adult media content at a pretty young age. I started implementing each of those things into my life somewhere between the ages of 16 and 21 years old, okay? Adult media content exposure was even at a younger age. And when I first started like chewing tobacco and vaping and drinking alcohol, it was actually a lot of fun. I really had no issues with it whatsoever, and I felt really good. Like I could drink all night long, wake up, go to work, smoke weed all night long, wake up, go to work, and I felt good. And this is one of the major issues with these drugs. People can consume them in moderate to relatively high quantities if you're younger, and not really be that negatively impacted by continued drug consumption. But that doesn't mean that something negative isn't happening. And that's the point that I'm going to make in today's video. So I want to give you guys an example. If people are using heroin or popping pills that could be laced or even blowing a line of cocaine, there's an immediate risk to that. And the negatives are pretty apparent. Like, it's obvious that people overdose every year on pills and injections like fentanyl and things like that. It's pretty obvious that people have died from using cocaine and then their heart just stops because it was mixed with something or they had an underlying cardiac condition. Like, the negative effects of those things are apparent and they're fast. They usually happen quickly. Even with really heavy alcohol consumption, the negative outcomes of that occur really, really quick. The body deteriorates very rapidly. But when we talk about nicotine, weed, stimulants like over-the-counter energy drinks and pre-workouts, and adult media content, the negatives aren't so apparent. But those negatives are still happening, right? Every time we smoke, every time we vape, every time we inhale something into our lungs that we shouldn't be, every time we consume adult media content, in one way, shape, or form, we're exposing our body to what I refer to as a slow burn, okay? We're burning our finances. We're slowly burning our physical health. We're slowly burning our mental health. We're slowly possibly burning our relationships and career opportunities and future potential opportunities. But it's slow, right? I was able to consume weed and nicotine and binge drink and watch adult media content with very little repercussions for years in regard to my physical health, my mental health, my career, my finances. But the negative effects of each time I was doing those behaviors, they compounded year in and year out. They built up on one another. And then one day I woke up around the age of 27, 28 years old, and boom, I was really sick mentally. I was very sick physically. For those of you that know my story, I was experiencing acute psychosis and cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome from cannabis use. I had all types of neurological problems, headaches, numbness and tingling in my hands and feet, on my stomach, on my face, on my back that couldn't be explained. They thought I had MS. They thought I had all these diseases. I was seeing rheumatologists, neurologists, everyone, right? I was having major issues with fatigue, major GI issues. And it seemed like it happened overnight. How was I doing these things for so many years and feeling good, right? Like I would drink a Monster Energy drink and I would feel good for years. I would smoke weed at night and I would get a good night's rest for years. I would drink alcohol and feel decent and wake up without a hangover for years, right? I could watch adult media content and not get really any repercussions from watching it for years. And then one day it's like I woke up and all of those years of damage hit me in a single day. And it hit me financially, mentally, physically, emotionally, socially. It hit me on every level. And then here I am seeing all these doctors trying to look for an acute answer to a problem that was chronic because of this compounding effect of all of these drugs over and over and over and over again. It's a slow burn, but one day you wake up and you start to feel that burn. And when you do, it's intense and it's confusing. If someone takes a pill and they overdose, or someone blows a line of coke and they have heart problems, it's not really confusing as to what caused it. It's pretty obvious to them. I took this pill and I overdosed. I blew coke and now my heart is damaged. I drank too much alcohol and I got poisoning and now I'm sick. But with these drugs, nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content, it doesn't happen overnight. And then in my case, even though to you guys now and how I'm wording this, it might sound obvious, it wasn't so obvious. And I'm not stupid for that because it wasn't obvious to all the doctors that I was seeing and all the other people that I was telling this to as well. It wasn't so obvious. And what I'm trying to say is with these drugs, you're able to operate and you feel fine until one day you wake up and you don't feel okay. And when that day hits for people, it's often very confusing, very anxiety provoking, and extremely stressful because now they don't have answers and they don't know what's going on. Most disease processes follow the compounding effect. Okay, let's look at two examples. Let's take type 2 diabetes. Okay, we could argue that sugar and junk food has the same impact. If you eat junk food long enough and fast food and seed oils and processed sugars and all this stuff, eventually one day you're going to wake up and you may have developed type 2, not type 1, type 2 diabetes, which is largely attributed to lifestyle choices, a lack of exercise and eating unhealthy crap. And it's not that you woke up one day and you just had diabetes. Your liver, your kidneys, your cardiac tissue, your heart, all of it was being damaged slowly along the way. See, the body's a very resilient thing. So for years, your body was able to tolerate the junk food, the lack of exercise, all the crap. And then one day it broke. One day it broke down. And then we have type 2 diabetes, but it didn't come out of nowhere. It developed slowly over the years. This is the same case for a lot of cancers. People will say, well, I got to quit smoking cigarettes before I get cancer. The cancer cells and the changes started the first time you had a cigarette. The question is, are you going to quit in time in order to not develop cancer? Because that train has already begun. People don't just wake up in many cases, and I'm talking about cancer related to smoking, okay? I understand there are cancers that are more spontaneous, and I am by no means an expert on cancer. But I do understand that a lot of cancers have been attributed, like smoking, to lifestyle factors. And it's not that the person smoked one too many cigarettes. It's not that their millionth cigarette gave them cancer. It was developing the whole time. And they never allowed their body a chance to heal and recover and repair that DNA. And then that broken DNA turned into cancer eventually in the form of lung cancer and then potentially metastatic cancer or something along those lines. Most diseases follow this effect of the compounding damage. Most lifestyle problems follow the impact of compounding damage, not exercising, not taking care of your body. If you don't use it, you lose it. One day, it's going to start to break down. If you don't control your finances, right? Maybe for a while you can get by gambling, spending frivolously, buying junk, but that reckless spending is eventually going to compound. And one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be broke. And it didn't happen overnight. It wasn't one bad decision. It was the cumulative effect of multiple repetitive bad decisions over and over and over and over again. And this is what nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content is. When we're younger, we use the compounding effect of combining these substances, or at least some people do. I know I did. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But right, I wanted to chase the alcohol buzz with a weed high, and then I wanted to go home and watch adult media content and rip my vape or dip tobacco while watching adult media content to chase the alcohol buzz with the weed high. I wanted to compound all these substances to get the maximal effect. But what I was really doing was compounding the negative outcomes and the negative side effects of each of these. Slowly over time, I was accumulating all these negative side effects that I didn't feel for years. And then one day I woke up and my mind, my spirit, my body, it was broken from these things. It was broken. And then it was on me to make the choice to quit and to rebuild it and invest in healthy interest, invest in healthy things that slowly compounded over the years to build me up versus tear me down, right? Slowly eating healthier to lower the blood sugars and lower the negative cardiac markers. Starting to exercise regularly to lower my risk of chronic disease and, immobility as I get older. I'm not that old, but you get where I'm going with this. And look, those things have compounding effects too, right? Just the opposite. Healthy behaviors. You don't go to the gym once and then wake up with a six-pack or wake up, ripped, right? It doesn't work that way. There's a compound effect of eating healthy and working out over time. And then one day you wake up and you're like, damn, I look really good. When did this happen? It happened after years of work and years of effort, and a lot of people don't understand this. This is another major problem, too, with addiction because we're so wired into this instant way of thinking, and that's not how we can think about it. And you guys know I hate talking about addiction as a disease. But if we're going to look at addiction as a disease, we should look at it the same way. Well, we really don't look at other diseases this way. This is a major problem in modern medicine. But we should view it as this compounding effect. And we should look at it more as a chronic thing that developed versus an acute thing. Because we always try to treat addiction acutely, and that just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So if you guys found this video helpful and you took something away from it or it made you think differently, we have our Addiction Mindset School community in the pinned comment where I go live on a monthly basis working with people in a group setting. And I work with people privately inside the DMs in that community if you need help. So join that. We also have our supplements, our Kick It, Crave Less Chewing Gum supplement. It contains KSM-66 ashwagandha, which has been shown to have a host of compounding positive benefits, over 22 gold standard clinical trials on that ingredient when it comes to health benefits. And it contains N-acetylcysteine, NAC. KSM-66 helps to reduce stress and anxiety. N-acetylcysteine helps to reduce cravings and balance dopamine. Things that I feel would be really cool to have in a highly absorbable chewing gum to help with that oral fixation when you're quitting vaping, quitting smoking weed, quitting whatever. Now, real quick, we got 3 sizes. We got a 30-count bottle. That is a 2-week supply. It's like a sample supply. But the first 2 weeks are the hardest. A lot of people just need 2 weeks and then they're good. We have a 90-count bottle, and that's a month supply. It takes about a month for the dopamine to rebalance in your brain after quitting substances. And then we have a 3-pack of the 90 count for a little less money if you buy the 3-pack. And the 3-pack is a 3-month supply because 90 days is the gold standard for changing a habit or a behavior. So I tell people if you really want to commit to quit, check out the 3-pack. You'll save some money. And every 90 count and 3-pack bottle comes with a free Kick It, Crave Less Deep Breathing necklace. If you buy the 30 count with the necklace, you'll get free shipping on the 30 count. The larger quantities automatically come with free shipping and a free necklace. You can find the links for all that stuff in the pinned comment or the links in the video description. I hope that helps you guys out. And we're always running promotions on our products inside our private Addiction Mindset School community. I know for Black Friday, we're going to be running like 30% off in there for our members. And we do giveaways and all types of stuff. Anyways, until next time.